As let's say when we was in school in Bishop, we could eat whatever we want when we wanted, drink whatever we wanted when we wanted, and our bodies would stay the same. We'd be fine. But we get to about 20 upwards in our 20s, literally in our 20s, the podcast. But we start what we eat suddenly starts, coming onto our bellies or our chins, and it's like you have to be a bit more careful about what you're eating as you grow up.
Yeah, it'd be really quite funny though, because we'll literally leave school and you'll be like, oh my god, I haven't seen you in like 3 weeks. And next thing you know, you'll see a guy who's got like a beer belly who was literally being an athlete in school or something.
It's mad how quickly things change. And it's like injuries as well.
Yeah.
Like as soon as you get to like 20 upwards and you get an injury in the gym or in your legs from football, you're finished.
It's like me with my wrist. That one time I was deadlifting with James and my wrist went, it still hasn't recovered. I still have to wear my strap even now.
Yeah. And that's like my hamstring. I injured it, let's say, just messing around in the club doing the splits because I was very drunk stupidly. It's actually so annoying. So I was in the club in Sydney and these people like Snapchatting, everyone's doing these tricks. So I did the splits without warming up.
I'll never forget this.
Yeah, and then
I'll never forget you telling me this.
Then I pulled my groin and I was in pain and I couldn't like move and I couldn't go gym or run for about 3 months. Then eventually it healed up and I started trying to go back to athletics. But my hamstring, obviously connected to my groin, was just so tight and hadn't been used that I pulled that and I've basically been screwed since. But I guarantee if it happened when I was, let's say, 15, I'd be laughing. It would heal in a few weeks.
It's quite funny though, because there are some young people who get injuries and just never knock them off, even though you think they should just knock them off. Yeah. I think groin and hamstring ones are really serious though, because I don't think there's certain parts of your body that you don't actually get rests. Like if you're on your feet all day, they say you're supposed to rest if you've got a hamstring injury. If you've got to go to school, you've still got to transfer between every lesson. They're not going to give you a wheelchair for having a hamstring injury.
Yeah, that's very true.
Or even if you're still going to be out every single day because you won't think of it like that. I think as you get older and you have an injury, you know what you've got to do, so you monitor it much better.
Yeah.
And that's why when you see in football games and players get hamstring injuries, there's none of this, I'll carry on playing for a bit. They just stop.
Straight stretcher.
Straight stretcher off, massage first, because they know any slight push could make it even worse. Even the slightest little tick.
It's interesting you say that actually, because I think you're right. There's not much accommodation for, let's say, sports players or not even sports players, but injuries in, like, let's say, a school or a workplace, even though that can affect you for literally the next 60 years of your life if you don't sort it out there and then. Yeah. So they wouldn't let you, like you say, they wouldn't give you a lift pass because you said your hamstring hurts. But the reality is you probably should get one if your hamstring does hurt, because that can affect you for your whole life. Because
for all you know, you could pull your hamstring just walking up the stairs in school. You don't have to be incredibly fit to not pull your hamstring. It can go at any time. That's what it is. But literally, for all you know, you could think, I pulled it, I'll carry on walking for the rest of the day. Next thing you know, if you're a sports person, you could go from being out 6 weeks to 3 months.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's like Aspilicueta. Did you see in the FA Cup final?
Yeah, so
he pulled his hamstring.
Him and Pulisic both done the hamstring and both went off straight away. Every player goes off straight away when they pull their hamstring.